everybody, Nicole here from my Pandora Charmed Life. This video is going to answer a question that I get often. It's how do I select my size for my Pandora bracelet? You are going to need two things. You're going to need the wrist in question, and you're also going to need
and a measuring tape.
And a measuring tape. The measuring tape you're going to want to use is one like this, one that you would use like in measuring when you take like your body measurements or whatever, not the stiff ones. It needs to be very flexible. So stay tuned. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which size of bracelet you're going to get. And spoiler alert, that size may change depending on the type of bracelet you're going for. I hope this helps you figure out which size you need to get the perfect bracelet. Alright, let's get into this measuring thing. If you hear a lot of noise in the background, Presley's playing, so we're gonna let her play and hopefully it's not too distracting. So let's go ahead and start with our measuring tape, and let me clear off my bracelet. We'll come back to how they fit later. Okay, and it looks like Miss Princess Presley might be coming to join us. Presley, do you want me to measure your wrist?
Mm-hmm.
Come on over. Come have a seat. So the first thing you're going to want to do is measure just above your wrist bone. So I will demonstrate on Presley. Presley, would you like to give me your wrist?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Her wrist measures almost 13 centimeters, but the smallest bracelet you can get in Pandora is 16, so I know that that's what she's going to be. Thank you for giving me your wrist, Presley.
I'm just going to stay here for
a
little bit.
So we're going to take measurement of my wrist, and my wrist is measuring, kind of want to get a pretty snug fit too. I measure right just under 15.5 centimeters. Pandora doesn't tell you this anymore. I was looking online to see what guidance they give you, and it's different from what it used to be. Their general rule of thumb used to be to go 2 centimeters higher than how your wrist measures, but now it's not saying that. So now it's telling me to go an inch. So actually, let's take a look and measure on the inch side. And my wrist measures just about 6 inches, so it says to go to a 7. Now I do prefer a 7.1. If we use the old methodology of going up 2 centimeters at 15.5, that would have me at 17.5, but I've tried a 17 and that is just way too small. I know that bracelets do stretch a little bit, but in the beginning it was just, it's not even possible. So my size that I prefer is an 18. So as I was saying, my preferred size is a size 18, and that is for regular Moments bracelets. So bracelets that are going to have like actual charms on them. I didn't exactly know that in the beginning. I did have an 18. Oh, the other thing to note, in the beginning I got an 18, and when you first get a bracelet, it is really stiff, right? It takes a while to loosen up, so it makes it feel like it's tighter than it actually is going to be. So when I got my second bracelet, I actually ended up going up a size, and I got a size 19. The 19 is bigger than I would like it to be. You can kind of adjust to that and put on more Muranos. This one I still only have 4, but on another size 19, I do have 6 Muranos on there just to kind of help make it feel a little bit tighter. But an 18 is my preferred size. I'll go ahead and demonstrate what I'm talking about. So I'll put this one on. This is my size 19 with 4 Muranos. You can see where this hangs down here. It's a little lower than I would like it to, but that's okay. Now let me show you a size 18 that has 4 Muranos. If I can just, let me find it. I know my Disney bracelet has 4 Muranos, so let's check it out. Okay. kid's book is going off on its own little tangents. Okay, so here's a size 18 with 4 Muranos. And I'm gonna put this on the same wrist. So here is a perfect comparison of a size 18 with 4 Muranos and then a size 19 with 4 Muranos. It really depends how far you're going to want it to fall. So if you prefer them to come down, or if you're really big on stacking bracelets, like this is perfect for me to wear together because I could stack them and they're not gonna like be in each other's way. So it's actually why I don't mind having 18s and 19s because I can get creative on how I want to wear them. I do prefer the tighter fit. A benefit to the tighter fit that I didn't realize I liked until I kind of stumbled upon the tighter fit was your bracelets tend to not move around as much, which again, I don't mind, right? My bracelets can move around all day long. I think it's cool. I like the way I like the little jingle sound. But the benefit is because it is tighter, my top stays on the top more often. It's very rare that a tighter fit bracelet is going to move around. And I know that's a lot of people's pet peeves with these bracelets are having the clasp part come up to the top. Usually I guess the center part weighs a lot more, so it just naturally wants to weigh down. So when you have that tighter fit, it almost solves the problem. So, little secret. Maybe you don't prefer tighter, but you're like, I really want my centerpiece to be on the top. You might want to consider if going tighter is the right choice for you. So on a size 18, I am able to fit quite a bit of charms on here. Again, I have 4 Muranos on this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 charms. That includes 2 little spacers and 1 dangle. I often feel like dangles fall under the spacer category just because they are tighter. And you can see I actually have room for a safety chain on here. I actually don't know why I don't have a safety chain on here. Well, I don't have any extra ones, so that's one reason, but this is one of my like most precious bracelets, so I should probably get right on that, don't you think? Another thing to keep in mind is that bracelets do stretch a little bit over time. This one is probably my most stretched 18, and it's actually stretched about 1/2 centimeter. So if I put this one on, right, and if I wanted to stack this is actually gonna get a little bit closer to this one because it's almost the same size with the stretch that's already on there. This one actually has a tiny little stretch, but we're talking like not even 1/4 centimeter. So other things to consider. Maybe they feel a little tighter, but as you fill them up and they stretch a little bit, it's gonna stretch about 1/2 centimeter to maybe even 1 centimeter. I've only experienced 1/2 centimeter though. On this bracelet, I have 1 safety chain. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are 20 charms on this one. I think the average that people get on are 15 to 20, sometimes a little bit more depending on how many dangles you have, since that takes less space. That might be another thing to consider. Let's say your size is a 17, but with a 17, you're not going to be able to fit as many charms on there. So that's also something to consider is, are you going to want some bigger, bulkier charms that you're not going to be able to fit on a bracelet? With most of my bracelets, what my centerpieces consist of are 5 pieces, and I can fit those very comfortably on a size 18, and that's with 2 of them being Muranos, 2 being normal size charms, and then a dangle. So those are all of my tips on the Moments sizing. If you have any questions, something that I maybe didn't address about sizing, leave me a comment below and I'll be sure to respond to you. I like to respond to my comments within 24 hours. Okay, so enough about the Moment style bracelet. Now let's talk about bangles. Before we move on from Moments, the Moments bracelets for sure have a really wide range of sizes. Again, they start as small as a size 16, which is what I currently use for this little one. It does slide right off of her, even on a full bracelet. And it goes all the way up to a 23. And those numbers are in centimeters. So 16 centimeters to 23 centimeters. So you have a lot to choose from. Moving on to bangles. Now let me verify something really quick. Bangles only come in 3 different sizes. You might hear them as small, medium, or large, or you might hear them in centimeters, which is 17, 19, and 21. The inches correspond to 6.7 inches, 7.5, and 8.3 inches. I have 2 sizes. My preferred size is a 17 versus a 19. I do have both. This 19 was a gift from my sister. So they are pretty big, and compared to the Moments, it's a pretty big range, right? If you look side to side, it's a pretty big difference. So if you're not going to fill up your bracelet with charms, and I've never filled a single bangle up with charms, I just kind of do like probably a third of the way with charms. I like to go a size down. If you're going to fill it up with charms, I would probably recommend to go a size up. So you're probably like, well, why don't you fill it up with charms? You love charms so much. Why wouldn't you fill it all up? Well, here's the deal. These are very round, and I find that if there are too many charms on them, it's not very comfortable along this part of my wrist because my wrist isn't round, right? It's oval. So keep in mind that fill, right? The Moments bracelets are a little bit more flexible. So that's definitely where something you want to consider. Just for comparison, let's put one on so you can see what they look like on. Let's put them on. All right, so the 19 goes way down on me. And then the 17, not so much. Okay. Again, it's nice to have different sizes for stacking, but this one tends to like go all the way over the smaller one. So those are things to keep in mind. The bangle bracelets hold the same amount of charms that the Moments bracelet does, so you can fill them all the way up. And also the mesh bracelets. So when you're looking at a mesh bracelet, they're basically a bangle. So I would pick the same size in mesh as you would your bangle. And the bangle, there's no limit to how many you can put on there. You could fill it up. Online it says they hold an average of 14 to 18 charms. So have at it. I will go ahead and show you what a bangle with charms looks like on compared to this one. So these are both 18s, one with charms, one without. This one doesn't have very many charms, I just have 5, with one being a dangle. So you have it. They're pretty similar. The charms, because there's not that many, doesn't make that big of a difference. Okay. So now, still in the family of bangles, you now have the open bangle. I am obsessed with the open bangle. I need to redesign them because they're just so comfortable. When you compare an open bangle, which you see is oval, to a circular bangle, they are just so much more comfortable to wear. So here is also where I wish we would have more size options. They're sticking to that same small, medium, and large size. So here's a small, again a 17 centimeter or 6.7 inches. Here's this, right? So it does have like a tighter fit to it. You probably, if you're my size of wrist, I'm not gonna pull a whole lot of charms on here. I'd probably stick to 5, and that would be really comfortable. The awesome thing about these bangles is whatever you put on top stays on the top all the time. It's so cool. so cool. They're genius. And then you can play with these little caps, and you can get different kind of caps. So these caps are a little sparkly, while these ones are a little bit not sparkly. They're just solid. So options there too. You can also, if you want to have your charms on the bottom, wear it like this. Then you have a fun little blingy wrist top. So tons of options when it comes to how you can play with these. Again, I do have a medium one, just because I thought I was going to want the medium one at first, but that to me is too much space. I do plan on adding a couple more Muranos if I can find the black Muranos for my football themed bracelet, because I really don't want to be able to fit my thumb through this, so I got it too big, but it's okay. I like to have options. Options are good. Okay. So that's the story with bangles. Again, same size options when it comes to circle bangles, open bangles, and the mesh bangle. Oh, with these, you can fill them up as much as you want. So really, if I wanted to, I could fill this one up. There's no limit. Obviously, I can't for size purposes fill this one up, but you can. Nothing says, hey, be careful with how many you are getting. The smooth bracelet option too, you're gonna wanna follow the the regular moment snake chain bracelets when you size anything that's open or that's smooth. So basically it's a snake chain without the clips. The thing that I wish I would have realized is I tend to not want to fill these ones up all the way. And with that being said, I should have considered a 17. So this is an 18, but because I'm not filling it up, I should have gone with the 17. That would have been an exception for me of when a 17 would have been perfect, is if I wasn't going to fill up the bracelet all the way. Okay, what does that bring us to? That brings us to, oh, let's do essence next. Essence. You are going to have more options with essence bracelets if you don't go with the bangle option. So let me look in my book to confirm. Where is the essence part? Nope, that's Disney. I guess I should just look here. Page 140. Okay. Essence bangles. I don't have one. I'm not a fan of them. And I'll tell you why. Their sizes are 16, 18, and 20. Because charms are smaller on the Essence bracelet, this is where I would go a size down from my preferred size. So what was I saying? Press was telling me her toys are sleeping. Oh, this is where I would want to go down a centimeter in bracelets. So here's where a 17 would be perfect, but it's not an option. I only have 16, 18, or 20. 16's way too tight and 18's way too big, so I choose to not get an Essence bangle. But they do have other options, which I actually love more than the bangle. So the beaded bracelet has tiny little beads, and then you have you just have like the regular bracelet, which is still very snake chain like. And these options come in 16 through 21. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So you can play around with whatever size you want. Here again, in an Essence, my perfect size is a 17. So this is a 17. I actually put a lot of charms on my Essence. I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 on this particular one. So it does have a tighter fit, which is fine with me. So a 17 with, what did I say? 8 charms, whatever I said, fits up to here, which I think is perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect when there's just a few too. So this one I think has a little bit less. What are we looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has 2 less charms. And some of these clasps are a little bit tricky on the Essence bracelet, heads up. I don't even know what you call it, but it has like a groove it needs to go into on this one, but it wasn't on this one. So here's this one with 6. It's a perfect size for me. It's my preference. I wouldn't want it looser, I wouldn't want it tighter. The reason why you would go a size smaller is because the beads on here aren't as big, right? The essence charms are just smaller. Plus, you wouldn't want these charms touching like you have on like one of these fuller bracelets, because then you can't really bend them. So I think it's cool to space them out, because with the silicone lining on an essence, they don't have to be touching, right? And they stay in place. So one of the unique things about essence bracelets. What else do I have? What other bracelet options are there? Let me look online really quick to see if I'm skipping over anything. I don't have a cord bracelet, so I can't give you any insights there, but I do have leathers. I only have the double wrap leathers, and the sizings on these, I believe, are only 3 sizes too. Let me see what they are. See if we can get some insight in the book. I could have sworn there was like really good details on how to size your bracelets, but I was looking online and they're just not, either I'm not looking at the right place or they don't have it anymore. I don't know. So I hope this is helpful, because these are things I would like to know as I'm designing a bracelet, right? Okay, so the double wrap leathers they do come in 3 sizes. They are 35 centimeters, 38 centimeters, and 41 centimeters. So I prefer the smaller one. And as I'm looking online, it says you can put 7 to 9 charms on a leather bracelet. I always heard it was 7. I would hate for my leather to stretch or get worn out, so I like the small ones. And with the small ones, you can just wrap twice. Ooh. Like so, and there you have it. So if I'm being honest, I wish their small leather came a little bit smaller. The one thing I haven't experimented with is putting a Murano on a leather, so that might be something that I want to consider doing. We'll see. So there's the small leather double wrap. So for sizing, these are all of my recommendations and what works for me. I know there are other bracelet types, but because I don't have them or haven't experienced them, I'm not comfortable giving you any advice on how to style those, but here's what I do have, and I hope that you found this helpful. So there you have it. That's all you need in deciding which bracelet is right for you. I hope this helps, especially if you're ordering your bracelets online and don't have the opportunity to try them on in store. If you like this video and you find it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have friends who are new to Pandora, share this video with them. That way they can get the right size of bracelet too. My question for you is, what size of bracelet do you prefer? Do you like a tighter fit or do you like it loose? Thank you guys for watching, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you. See you guys next time. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Okay. Oh, I just pinched my skin. Presley, I pinched myself. Don't forget to share it Don't forget to share it. Hold on.